Come along with me through the long, beautiful gallery of my life. At about the same time, when my wonderful father helped pick out an old radio from the dump for the first time that I can start my journey in electronics, I was at my school, which was Lincoln School, where I went to school after graduating from Children's Own School. It was a rainy afternoon, and we were on the walkway from the main entrance of the building to the street. And there were steps from the school walkway to the sidewalk. I remember that crystal clear. What I also remember is that another little boy, I don't know who he was, and I never met him, but he was wearing colorful clothing and a long, transparent plastic raincoat. Suddenly, I was mesmerized by that scene. Everything else around me faded to darkness. I knew instantly there was something very, very special about that scene. While I was transfixed by that scene and that boy and his raincoat, I was not yet aware of the significance of the fact that when I was born, the umbilical sac did not break from around me. Decades later, I learned that was called an NCAL birth. Furthermore, an NCAL birth to many people signifies that you're special and you need to be protected at all costs. I was also unaware, until about 4 decades later, of an old movie that I was fascinated at called The Boy in the Bubble. It was about a young boy who had problems with his immune system, and he had to literally live in a transparent plastic bubble. When I first saw that movie, I immediately identified with that boy, and I saw myself as that boy, and I needed to be protected. The whole theme of my relationship to the boy in the bubble, as well as that boy in that raincoat, was a need to let my beauty shine, but also let myself be protected from danger. Yet another aspect of the boy in the bubble and myself, which I also did not realize until decades later, that I have become very, very careful of where I go and what I do. Like, for example, when I ride my bicycle and there's heavy traffic, or it's late at night, or if the batteries have gone out in my bicycle, I would get off the bicycle and get onto the sidewalk and walk the bicycle through the danger zone, and then, of course, get back on the road when it's safe. Furthermore, I have stopped going out late at night, especially when the bars get busy, unless it's something very, very important. I especially get off the streets in my home when the time for bars closing, which is at 2 a.m., approaches, because being a bicyclist and a pedestrian, I am extremely vulnerable and I wish to take care of myself. That I feel is totally related to both the in-cow birth and the boy in the bubble, to show some wisdom that may have passed to me when I went through the in-cow birth. And to be protected, I was with a bunch of bicyclists rolling down a country road, and there was a stop sign ahead and apparently no traffic. All of them, except for myself, rode through the stop sign without stopping or even slowing down, and they started to tease me that I was a wimp and I was a chicken as I stopped at the stop sign and checked for traffic and then continued on. By that time, they had zoomed far, far ahead of me. However, when I rounded a corner, I found that same large group of bicyclists surrounded by two police cars. The policemen were corralling them in a line to wait to receive tickets or citations for going through the stop sign. The policeman smiled at me, waved at me to continue on, and I did not have to stop. The policeman did not want me to stop because they did not need to give me a citation for going through the stop sign. This all happened about 2 decades before I fully became conscious of the concept of the in-cow birth and protection. Could they be related? Like all schools in our beautiful galaxy, Lincoln School, McCall Junior High School, and later on Tabor Academy and Worcester Polytechnic Institute all had their share of physical fights between students. What's very notable is not only did I not participate in the fights, I was situated far, far away from the fights when they happened. I did not have to retreat from them. The minimum distance I was from any fight, as far as I remember, was about 20 to 30 feet. Most often, though, it would be close to 20 to 30 yards. Could this protection from me, from those fights, also be related to the in-cow birth and the boy in the bubble? Other incidents, one of which I was witnessing a peace protest, and not too far from me, the police made many arrests. However, the police totally ignored me, and I was not arrested. I was also not even asked for identification. I feel there's an awful lot of these little incidents to maybe suggest that it was more than a mere coincidence. Of all these incidents, there was one that was really, to be frank with you, quite scary. There was to be a Mardi Gras party in Old Town, Seattle, which is an area near downtown with bars and clubs. I wanted to go to that party dressed up in a full transparent plastic suit with a violet pair of shorts underneath. A couple of days before the party, I started to make the suit with my sewing machine out of clear plastic shower curtains. Everything went fine until the morning of the day of the party, when I got up to continue to work on that project. Well, I started to feel a bit woozy around noon, kind of a headache and a slight upset in my stomach. I got up away from the machine, had a lunch, and relaxed. I thought I was feeling fine. Then when I got back to the sewing machine, I started to feel kind of queasy again. So I tried to forage ahead, whatever the pronunciation, and continue the project in time for me to go to the party that evening. But as time went on, my upset stomach got worse and worse. I stopped the sewing to relax a bit. The stomach got better, but when I came back to the sewing machine, the feeling got worse and worse and worse. I decided not to go. I must have a stomach bug or maybe food poisoning from the dinner before. So I stopped sewing and then read a book for a while and then went to bed. When I got up the next morning, I went to the sewing machine to try to finish the project, not for that party, but for any future party. However, when I started work on the project again, my stomach problem did not happen. It was moments later when I have heard that there was a shooting and a near riot at that party that I would have gone to. Well, the question was I protected in a way that they gave me a warning? And the warning was in the form of sickness while I was working on the project for the party. And it prevented me from going to that party. Let you answer the question. Long before not being tangled up in a fight nor being hurt at a party that's gone out of control, when I was a child, I was frightened of this. I not want anyone to know that I like clear plastic raincoats. Even when I bought one for myself from my paper route money, I only wore it in the closet. It took decades for me to realize this is an unharmful thing and I can be totally out about it. Right now, here in Bellingham, I openly tell people, especially when they ask about my raincoats, that I fully identify with the boy in the bubble in being protected, and that I like to have my beauty shine through in inclement or cold weather. Sometimes you see me wearing my clear plastic jacket only as a windbreaker. In fact, I did precisely that on a nice sunny but windy day when I crashed the Bellingham Memorial Day Ski to Sea parade and danced in the parade. People loved it, and I was told that got better applause than the mayor's VIP automobile. Well, there you have it. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this chapter of Come Along. And of course, if you see me in a parade wearing my clear plastic jacket or just dancing anywhere, stop me, tell me you love me, and if you want, you can ask me questions. As with all videos, may I pass along my endearing love to you all. Yes, Bellingham and the world beyond, I love you all.